Chester Bennington, Linkin Park singer, is dead at 41. Chester Bennington, the singer of Linkin Park, in June. Credit Gikohueska, European press photo agency. Chester Bennington, the ferocious lead singer for the platinum-selling hard rock band Linkin Park, was found dead in his home near Los Angeles on Thursday. He was 41. Brian Elias, the chief of operations for the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office, confirmed the death, in Palos Verdes Estates, and said it was being investigated as a possible suicide after law enforcement authorities responded to a call shortly after 9 a.m. Mr. Bennington, who was known for his piercing scream and free-flowing anguish, released 7 albums with Linkin Park. The most recent, One More Light, arrived in May and debuted at #1 on the Billboard album chart. The band was scheduled to start a tour with a concert on July 27 in Mansfield, Mass. Mike Shinoda, one of Linkin Park's founders, spoke on behalf of the group in a tweet. "Shocked and heartbroken," he wrote, adding that the band would issue a statement. Follow Mike Shinoda at Mike Shinoda. Shocked and heartbroken, but it's true. An official statement will come out as soon as we have one. 12:03 a.m., July 21, 2017. 208,403 208,403 retweets. 330,703 330,703 likes. Twitter @info and privacy. Mr. Bennington also performed in a side project, Dead by Sunrise, and joined Stone Temple Pilots as its lead singer after the band split with the vocalist Scott Weiland in 2013. In May, he responded to the suicide by hanging of his friend the singer Chris Cornell in a note he shared on social media. "I can't imagine a world without you in it," he wrote. "I pray you find peace in the next life." Mr. Bennington also performed Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah at Mr. Cornell's funeral. Mr. Cornell would have turned 53 on Thursday. Hallelujah at Chris Cornell's funeral. Video by Antonio Ricardo. A week later, he posted a series of positive tweets, including one about being artistically inspired, feeling very creative this last week. "I've written 6 songs and I'm happy with all of them. Just getting started." He added the emoji for the devil horns hand gesture. Continue reading the main story-related coverage. Chester Bennington brought rock ferocity to Linkin Park's Innovations. July 20, 2017, Linkin Park beats expectations with 6th chart-topping album. May 29, 2017, Music Review. Linkin Park at Madison Square Garden with a new sound. February 6, 2011. Recent comments. Von 75 34 minutes ago. As someone who has struggled with depression for 25 years and seriously contemplated suicide recently, my heart breaks for what this man has. Lisa Krause. 35 minutes ago today, when I read that Chester Bennington died, I felt deep sorrow. In recent months, I have been thinking a lot about the before and A. Wallace. 52 minutes ago. Firstly, I wish to offer my condolences to his lovely wife and 6 beautiful children. I cannot even imagine what a heavy burden your hearts. See all comments. Write a comment. But Mr. Bennington had been open about his struggles with drug and alcohol addiction, which had fueled many of his biggest hits with Linkin Park. "I have been able to tap into all the negative things that can happen to me throughout my life by numbing myself to the pain, so to speak, and kind of being able to vent it through my music," he said in a 2009 interview with the website Noise Creep. "I don't have a problem with people knowing that I had a drinking problem. That's who I am, and I'm kind of lucky in a lot of ways 'cause I get to do something about it." On Crawling, one of the band's defining singles from its debut album, Hybrid Theory, which went on to sell more than 11 million copies in the United States, Mr. Bennington sings, "There's something inside me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing. This lack of self-control I fear is never ending." Linkin Park, Crawling. Video by Linkin Park. "The song," he said later, "was about feeling like I had no control over myself in terms of drugs and alcohol. That feeling," he added, "being able to write about it, sing about it, that song, Those words sold millions of records. I won a Grammy, I made a lot of money. Still, as the group's career progressed, Mr. Bennington was adamant that he would remain transparent in his music about his personal ups and downs. The recording studio, he told Rock Sound, is not a safe place for me to be unless I'm doing what I need to do, taking care of myself, being real, being open, getting it out, taking all the steps to make myself whole. If it wasn't for music I'd be dead, he added. 100%. Chester Charles Bennington was born on March 20, 1976, in Phoenix, the youngest of 4 children. His mother was a nurse and his father a local police detective prone to pulling double shifts. Mr. Bennington described his childhood as unhappy, citing his parents' divorce when he was 11 and frequent molestation by an older friend, beginning when Mr. Bennington was about 7 or 8 and continuing until he was 13. It destroyed my self-confidence, he said of the abuse in an interview with Kerrang! Magazine in 2008. Like most people, I was too afraid to say anything. I didn't want people to think I was gay or that I was lying. It was a horrible experience. Mr. Bennington found solace in writing angst-filled poetry, in drawing and eventually in music. He cited Stone Temple Pilots and Depeche Mode as 2 of his earliest influences. As a teenager, he started his first band, Grey Days, and gained something of a local following in the wake of the grunge explosion. At 23, Mr. Bennington was married and working in an unfulfilling job when a music industry acquaintance sent him a demo by the band Zero, featuring Mr. Shinoda, a California rapper and songwriter interested in mixing hip-hop and rock sounds. I never pretended I could carry the vocals on my own, Mr. Shinoda told Kerrang! I had these great melodies in my head, and I couldn't get them across. I wanted to find someone who could do them justice. After he auditioned an array of vocalists, he gave the job to Mr. Bennington, who had already recorded himself singing over the band's early work. Together they became Linkin Park. Newsletter sign up. Continue reading the main story. Sign up for the Louder newsletter every week. Stay on top of the latest in pop and jazz with reviews, interviews, podcasts and more from the New York Times music critics. Enter your email address. Sign up. You agree to receive occasional updates and special offers for the New York Times's products and services. Privacy policy. Opt out or contact us anytime. Hybrid Theory was released by Warner Bros. Records on October 24, 2000, at the peak of the teen pop mania fueled by Britney Spears and NSYNC. Despite its rougher edges, the album's raw emotion and radio-ready hooks found a mass audience, and a fair amount of critical derision, as part of the growing nu metal boom led by acts like Korn and Limp Bizkit. Mr. Bennington's worldview could be bleak and his lyrics self-lacerating, but his honesty and the steeliness of his vocals on tender subjects spread fierce loyalty in the band's listeners. Though the band was popular among the headbangers of Ozfest and the annual Family Values tour, it never shied from its pop sensibilities, as Mr. Bennington shifted easily between belting and growling. In the end, with his soaring chorus, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2001. Linkin Park pushed even further into the rap and pop realms on its 2003 follow-up, Meteora, which sold 4 million copies. The band even collaborated with Jay-Z on the platinum mashup album Collision Course the next year. The band's latest album, One More Light, features Pusha T and the grime rapper Stormzy and uses songwriters who have written for Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Mr. Bennington said that his sobriety had faltered throughout his rise to fame, pointing to his divorce in 2005 as a catalyst for his drinking. In a radio interview last year, he recalled going to counseling with other band members in 2006. I knew that I had a drinking problem, a drug problem, and that parts of my personal life were crazy, he said, but I didn't realize how much that was affecting the people around me until I got a good dose of "here's what you're really like." Mr. Bennington married Talinda Bentley, a school teacher and former model, in 2006. In a Wired article the next year, He revealed that he and his wife had been victims of an aggressive cyberstalker who had gained access to everything from their social security numbers to their social plans. The experience was deeply unsettling, leading Mr. Bennington, who was famously open and available to his fans, to withdraw. "It sparks the sort of anger you don't normally experience," he told Wired. Devon Townsend, the woman who had tormented Mr. Bennington and his family, was sentenced to 2 years in prison in 2008. He comments in addition to his wife, he is survived by 6 children. Despite his years of turmoil, Mr. Bennington was optimistic in interviews during the lead-up to the new Linkin Park album this year. "Where I'm at right now in 2017 is as far on the opposite side of the scale to where I was at this time in 2015, he told Rock Sound. "I literally hated life and I was like, I don't want to have feelings. And now I'm like, bring it on."